Hi, my name is Ifeoluwa Adeyemi, and this is the Young Married and Thriving Community Podcast. Here we have real and practical conversations about marriages and relationships, and you're set to gain a lot if you are a newlywed, a young couple, or a matured single. So if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so right away and send this video to as many people as possible. So today, I have with me two beautiful and amazing couples. Yay! And that is the Akifenwas and the Adebayos. It's such a joy to have you on the show today. How are you doing, the Adebayos?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. The Akifenwas, how are you today?
You're doing great today. Thank you for having us.
You're
It's a pleasure.
welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you both for honoring us. God bless you. We're so grateful. So let's get right into it. Today, we are going to be treating a very important topic, and that is the young couple experience. We're going to be looking at the good, the bad, and the very ugly side of some issues in marriages. And that is why they are here, to give us insights and practical lessons from their own marriages. So, the first question goes to Mrs. Toby. So let me ask, how was the first year of marriage for you? I mean, how were you able to transition and settle into the role of being a wife and, the responsibilities that comes with that ring on your finger?
The first year of marriage for me it was a smooth transition because we've been friends for how many years? We've been dating for I think close to 3 years or thereabouts. We've been friends even way before we started dating back in school, in uni, and so the friendship thing was there. So there was no packaging, no forming, nothing. So the marriage thing is just like we moved into another phase. It's just a continuation of what we had going on. So first 3 months of marriage was very okay, but not until some other issues. I think we'll get there. We started realizing that okay, there's this thing that comes with you're now married, you're now a wife. You need to take yourself serious, and I think it's the society that does that to us. Normally everything was just okay. We're just doing life, and then we're growing with the as the months and days came by, and then like that. So for the first 3 months everything went fine. Fourth month then I started wondering, okay, is it that this man changed or I changed or what
going
happened
on here? In case of what I ordered versus what I got.
So little things like this, why did you have to do that? Why is it? But just for me, I began to nag like, but you were not like this any small thing. You were not like this when we were dating. We were not like this when we were friends. Yeah.
Oh.
So what happened to now? So all of those things. But thank God, first year. So I think what happened at some point, if I could remember now, is that we both know what we want in marriage. So it was easy for us to just okay, guy, bring your head back.
Stay on track.
Stay on track.
Yeah.
You messed up, and for we ladies, it's not like the men will not be the one to come and apologize, but we know that we did it wrong or they did bad, they did us bad, and then we'll just decide that no, it will beg. So I think that one was one major issue. I was the one that was always giving the silent treatment. I don't want to, because I know if I talk at that instant my words are weighty, so I rather just keep quiet, observe, process it, then
Deal with it.
but he just wants to kilo share
As e dey hot.
as e dey hot. So we both have different temperaments, so I pick things like the ones you don't even say. I pick it, so he be like, what as me I just said it now, and I say you cannot just say it. So I'll just be on my own, I'll just keep quiet, do my thing, and he will just be doing his normal, like he's not even sending me what kind of. And so
No, you won't pepper your body more.
so those little issues, and then we came to. I remember before marriage, we said we must not go to bed without sorting out issues. So I know for somebody listening or watching right now, you must have said that. But let me just be very real with you guys. As much as you have some values, you have some of those things you want to take into marriage. I think there's this reality that comes with marriage that is just like a case of what I ordered versus what I got. But on the flip side, it's not like the negative side, but you just have to tell yourself that okay, we are in this thing. There's nothing, it cannot taba daru will bring it back. Will bring back our senses, right? So I just had one day. I said, okay, I can't keep on with this. I'm hurting myself more. Any small thing, I'll just go to my shop. You now got to a point. I went to visitor's room. I said, me
Has
no,
gotten
it has
to
gotten to
that
that.
stage.
He will come, he will come and say, what happened to you? We'll sort it like that. We'll be 3.5 years. About this year will be 4 years in marriage. And I said something to him last year. I said, Amy, we've grown though. Before that, any small thing, I'm
He's
already.
blushing.
Any small thing, I'm already. Don't talk to me. I don't want. But now, if you like, do anything, do your worst. You see, on that bed we'll sleep. Oh, it's not like before I would have entered the guest. I don't want to, just leave me. Don't just talk to me. Don't stay with me. That kind of thing. But now it's that bed. In short, I will even shift him to the side. Don't anything you want to do. Let it be on this bed. We'll sort it here. All of that. So it just got better much
With time.
But that first year we learned. So somebody once said that you grow through what you're going through. So what we went through at that time, it was like a learning. So it's normal if you are just getting married or you're about to get married. Oh my shele, normal. Just prepare your mind that it's not like the guy changed. No, nobody changed. They used to tell us everything, take it to God. But they don't move us all alone, no. Before you start disturbing God, talk to your husband, guy, let's sort this. Then if it now becomes like, okay, we've been trying, we've been talking, it's not working, then God, now you give this man to me, talk to him and all of that. So I've said all this to say that the first year of marriage was not rosy. The first 3 months looked like so this marriage thing is sweet.
Butterflies
The sexual part, let's go there. Coming from
go there.
we'll go there.
We'll
So
go there.
that one I was like, what's this? Wow. Shock here and there, but we grew out of it. It's not like we started calling people, there's problem. No, we just understood that okay, this is a new phase. Let's just adjust. And that's what we did. The first year was adjusting, growing. Second year, even now we are still growing. Because before we came here, we don't scatter and we don't fight small. But normal.
Reconcile again. Amazing. Thank you so much for that insight. That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Mrs. Toby. So ladies first, as they always say. So, Mrs. Dami, let me just continue from where she stopped. So in cases of conflict and disagreement, because I'm sure you people would have had some level of
We don't fight. So we don't do
okay. Oh no, God forbid, not physical, but you understand what I mean. So how were you able to move past conflict? How were you able to, conflict, converse about what was bothering you and all that, and how were you able to come to a solution? So basically, conflict resolution. You can state a practical example of probably one issue you both disagreed mightily on.
Okay. So we are two different personalities. Well, let's say initially I'm growing up, I wasn't someone that would express herself.
Okay.
I can't say, oh, this is how I'm feeling. You can't talk. Whatever it is, just sort yourself out. But I know going into marriage, I have to be able to speak out. He's not a wizard. He can't know what I'm thinking. He can't know what so I have to express myself. I have to say, this is what you did that is hurting me. This is what you did that I don't like. And so I came into the marriage with that. And meanwhile, he on his own part is to keep quiet, keep mute, silent treatment. And then I'll be telling myself, bros, I'm a G in this game. If I don't come,
it is over for you.
it is you that will come. I'm a G because of, So what I usually do, I have to take the bold step. Guy, how far? What's the issue? Why are you squeezing face? Before saying nothing. What's the problem? What is it? Go. And well, at times he won't say anything. At times he would actually express himself and say, oh, this is what you did. I didn't like. This is what I expect you to adjust this way and all. And I'll say, okay, fine, I'll work on it. Truthfully, at times I might not.
You already work on
You're
And
only
at times I
human.
will pick it. I'm like, oh, okay. So one example I can actually remember was, I think this was late last year.
Okay.
So I always like him to have a say in how I look, my outfit. So okay, do you think this time is okay, or do you think I should wear this and all?
Yeah, I'm
So,
laughing
but
because I can relate.
So I don't know, but for this one, I can't. I just told my tailor, wait, just so boo boo. And so when I brought it, he was furious that which one is boo boo? Why would you so boo boo and all? So then I'm like, but you should have actually said, he was now showing me styles on his phone that why can't you not sew this, or why can't you not sew this?
Fashionista.
So I'm like, oh, you should have actually spoken up and said, okay, oh, this is what I want you to do. You have to expect me to know, okay, this is the style. This was what I pictured in my head. That for this kind of material, let me just sew something free and something simple. Because for a family function, do something simple. And then if you are here, you are saying that. So he complained there of late. I've been doing this. I've not been pimping. I've not been, looking this and that. I'm like, okay, fine. Going forth, henceforth, you would
Just choose the style.
just say, okay, this is what I want, this is what I want. So issues like that, when it also comes to the aspect of food, I want to say really that, is it a general thing with men? When you say, what do you want to eat? The answer you get
Anything.
I hate that word.
It's a script we are all playing.
like,
I think all these men, they have anything in their blueprints.
which one is anything?
Usually when it comes to food, anything is there.
And you know,
And you now go and cook beans.
No,
They're not saying they don't like it.
anything is basically like, look at what we have eaten in the past 24 hours. Don't bring
Don't bring
anything.
anything.
Don't bring
No,
anything from that.
For my husband, he doesn't work
catalog.
that way. My husband can say, no, that why should I eat yam in the morning? And then I'm like,
You said anything.
which one is okay? If you are cooking yam, let it be towards the time I'm going to eat rice. And then I will ask you, and you will now say anything. I'm sure that particular one, it has not been fully
Resolved yet.
resolved yet.
Don't
Because
worry.
even with anything, I'll say, okay, should I cook this one? No. Will you eat this one?
No. What do you now want?
But really, for conflict resolution, is one person, you both can be, let me use the word stubborn, or you both can keep quiet. One person has to take it up to initiate the conversation. Okay, what's the issue? What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Or what do you expect for me to have
Done better.
Yeah.
And then you consciously work on that thing.
Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mrs. Damin. All right, so my next question goes to Mr. Toru. So, does your work, I understand that you're into the 9 to 5 game. So, does your work ever interfere? In fact, you both are into the 9 to 5 game. So, you speak on behalf of you both. So, does your work ever interfere in your marriage? How do you manage that and create time for one another? And that is like quality time for quality time for one another. How do you manage that? Because I know you have a very busy schedule. She also has a lot to do. How do you balance that? That's work-life balance.
So I say, well, for me, I feel it's been a bit challenging because communication is key in marriage.
Yeah.
So if I've gone from morning to night and she has done the same, most of the time I also want to talk or have her around me. Okay, so here it is. Once we are here now, she's tired and then she wants to go to the room to sleep. And I'm like, I still want to be in the living room, probably catch up on some shows, and then I want her with me. But I've noticed over time that she's not
able
being,
to.
she just wants to go in and sleep or be on her
The
phone.
fatigue.
And I've come to accept it like that. So I'm not one to just go inside and then just go and sleep because I like to reflect and maybe relax my brain rather than just sleep off and then the next morning I'm awake again to continue that cycle. So I just like sit down. But sometimes you manage, there are days weekend that
You're
very
able
free,
to bond.
and then when we are coming back from work, I know we gist about what has happened and what we do, when she's not having meetings, and then sometimes we just try and put it whatever time, you know, and for the fact that we've been friends long before, like dated for probably 5-6 years, so it's
Oh wow.
easy. It's
Wow.
easy to
Yes, wow.
it's easy to just pick up the conversation and talk and then we gist like that. But really, the work-life balance is not so much. We just have to flow with the side as it is, such that we're not creating friction for one another. I have to be understanding that this work has not been easy for you, especially her crop of work and the series of meetings that she has to do. I think I have it easier from both aspects, both in my former workplace and this thing. But she's not having so much easier. So I have to be very understanding to say that, at this point, you can't just be like, complaining and all. So she needs the rest. And then whenever
There's a chance, to bond,
just
you make do. Wow.
So that's
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you so much,
Can I
Mr.
say-
Toro.
Can I?
Yes.
Yes. So as regards this
Work-life balance.
work-life balance, I my sister here can attest to it. Last year after I resumed back from maternity leave, I'm like, what is this?
Hell.
Like, what is this? I
Wow.
am done. I can't keep up. It was like a whole
A
shock,
whole lot.
a whole lot getting back to work, and it's just everywhere was just so toxic, and several days I would cry and say I'm resigning. I even told him, I said, August, I'm done. I don't know what you want to do. I don't know how you want to talk me also, but I am done. He said, hold on, give me till this December. I said, December it is. December 31st, I'm thanking my
Resignation letter.
like it was that bad. I would always cry because I start my day from 7 o'clock meetings, and it's not meeting of okay, hope you all had a nice rest. It is meeting of where are you going to get money from? What are you going to do? And then
Pressure.
panic attack. I will not be able to sleep at night. In short, it's a whole lot. And funny how we are both in the same industry. We are both bankers, and we were both marketers. So you can imagine, he is out there looking for deposit. I am also doing the same thing. So I have to sit down and do everything. It's either you leave this job or you switch to another department. Okay, you can't resign. You are saying you want to resign, you can't, because you have a daughter that you have promised the baby girl lifestyle. So you have to work to fund the lifestyle for her. So what I did was, okay, let me look at changing of departments first, see what we can do. And then I was looking at moving to Lagos, but then after I had like a clarity conversations with some of my friends, and they were not in support, that no, you can't go to Lagos. What's the point of you saying you want to move from one department if because of your family, and then at the end of the day it's still the family that will be affected? Is there any other place you can go to? Okay, let me check this place. I got a no from that side also, and then the only other option was move to operations. And then I'm like, operations, marketing, sorry, my non-Yoruba audience, like they are the same parents, but then I weighed the options. I won't have to do 7 a.m. meetings. I won't have to do 5 p.m. meetings that would at times run into past 9. So you can imagine the same
cycle over and over again. So it has created you with little or no time to even bond
Monday
with
to
your
Friday, and
family.
I
Wow.
have a baby that
Hmm.
I also have to
Nurture.
nurture, take care of. So I said, okay, operations it has to be, and I prayed about it, and when I got the yes, and I also spoke with them, we were like, fine, and it was a smooth transition. Though for the operations also, it means more time at work, it means part of my weekend. No, I have
Time.
yes, and then
More time.
less pressure. So both of us cannot be hustling for the same customer that will give us 1 billion, that will give him 1 billion to meet his target. And also, one something even happened sometimes. He got home, he was so excited. He said, "Oh, a customer of his gave him 150 million." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's good." Deep down, I wasn't happy because I'm like,
That could have
that would have
been me.
been me. That would have been me, and it would have saved me a whole lot of backlash at work and all. So you can imagine if we had continued on that path. I know those in career would have you could have struggled. I bet you would have looked outside the room, but no, my home is key. My home is priority.
Yeah.
So I had to take the switch, and it has given me less time, less pressure. Even people that saw me, they're like, I'm sure you also said
I did.
I've added weight. I'm looking less
Yeah,
stressed.
traveling.
So it was just one of the major decisions that I had to take.
Wow,
last year.
amazing. Amazing. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. So that means even when necessary, you have to take some sacrifices to, create time for your family and just weigh the options and go for the next best thing. Even if it is just a little difference, I think I'm sure you'd agree that it has made a difference in your home. That's beautiful. So you made a mention about your baby, and that leads me to the next question. What was the transition as to parents like? How I know having a baby can feel, but so how were you able to navigate the challenges that came with that new phase of marriage?
I think for us, we had a plan towards having a baby, and we were able to stay true to what we planned. We got married, and we both agreed that we were going to have a baby after a year and 6 months. So for me as a person, my mind is programmed that way. Nothing can. But I know at a point the pressure of having a baby and all came into picture. My wife, not even from parents, yeah, majorly from parents. Uh, Asking, why did you get married? Why? If you don't, all the lies, don't help God, although from my wife's parents. So most of the asking came from my wife's parents. They can't ask me. They could not put a call through to me to ask that what is the delay about. So they just call their daughter, send a text, prayer, the Lord will do it, the Lord will all sort of. So personally, while those gimmicks were going on, I tried to stay away. It's a family matter for them. You get, so I try as much as possible not to interfere. But when I had to come in was when it started weighing down my wife. That anytime she gets to see her dad's call, she's feeling down, and so I had to come and say, hey, call so person and tell the person to warn them not to send a text again or to call. Because you might say it will not affect you until you realize that the person you call your partner is not giving 100% that was supposed to be. So at that point in time, they had to stop that. So we planned 1 year, 6 months, but when the pressure came from my wife, she started mounting the pressure. Because I had a plan for 1 year, we had a plan for 1 year, 6 months. As a man, that 1 year, 6 months must be 1 year, 6 months. But when we got to 1 year, 3 months, I knew that I was in for a long ride. The next 3 months is going to be a real trouble. 1 year, 3 months, then I knew that anything a woman wants, they will get. Except they don't want it. Usually, the way it happens is always the man having to, my wife, this, that. Then I will see my wife touching me. I say, hey, hey. Till date, I still jokingly, I say to her that, hey, you are user.
I used you.
You used me because I could remember I wanted to run away from that room. So that period in time gave us the opportunity to really prepare for the baby coming. We were not caught unaware because we got to know she got pregnant and we got to know after 1 week. Because for her, we knew that if your menstrual cycle stops, it means that something must happen. She never misses her. So we knew that. So when we got to know that we were prepared totally. Nothing. We were not caught unaware, and we had some things that we've planned before time. We knew that we are not expecting so many people coming in there. My own belief system is as much as you learn from people's experience, again, your journey is unique. So for us, there are a lot of things that we need that as much as we will learn from people's experience, there is a difference between where we are going, the kind of child we want to raise, and all of that. So we were totally prepared. Nothing came as a surprise to us. So we were totally prepared. The only thing we didn't really prepare for was baby will not eat. You can't prepare for that anyway. A picky child, not eating, having to. So that aspect, and you can't fully prepare. You cannot be 100% prepared for everything. What you have to do is you have to do what you have to do. Pray to God that you have the money. If your child is picky, pray that you have the money to buy what she's picking. So for a baby like for about first 6-8 months or thereabouts, she was not eating any other thing, just sugar. It's expensive, but just buy it. If God will provide, and you too, you double your hustle, as we used to say, and you prepare for it. So apart from that one, it was really prepared for. Basically.
That was nice. Thank you so much for sharing. I think what really stood out for me, what you said, was that phase of preparation. So I think it is very, very important. Now, not all couples might be able to wait. I can relate to what you said because we also choose to wait for a while, and I think in a way that really helps you balance. And if for some people age is not on their side, and some people they just really want to get right into childbearing, really, whichever the case may be, just do what works for your family. I mean, and like in the last episode, we already discussed family dynamics. If you're yet to watch it, you need to go back and watch that episode. And so, what works for a particular family might not work for yours, and what is working in your family might not work in another family. So, do what works for you.
But I think what really will work for everybody is having a plan.
Yes, no, of course.
So your plan might just so not even that you are planning to wait for a period of time. You can plan towards that we are getting married and we're having a baby. That plan alone put your mind in a state that you are ready for. So your plan is that we are getting married and we're having a baby straight up. That will readjust every other thing, whereby you know that you can't. Okay, for someone that say we are getting married and we're having a baby immediately, you cannot say you cannot say your body is still adjusting to being married. No, you have made a plan towards it in the first place. So therefore, getting married, you know that everything must work at the same time, whereby we're having a baby straight. So you are not. There is no time to. That one alone can help you to learn fast. Do you understand? So that one can even prepare you to hasten your learning period before you get married. Just imagine you are getting married in the next 3 months and you say, we're having a baby, there is no time, I'm 40, I'm 30 something by now, you have to have a baby almost immediately. That one will prepare you. You are not just preparing for a wedding, you are preparing for having a baby almost immediately.
The whole yard. That's amazing. Wow. Thank you for that key insight. That was beautiful. So basically, you have a plan and to prepare, whether it is time or not. Having a standard plan always helps. Okay, do you have anything to say to that, the advice? How parenthood, how you're able to transition into parenthood from being just for you and then having a little dependent running around after you in the house?
Well, okay, let's say for us, we also decided that we were going to eat, but then it happened. So it came with mixed feelings. Well, I didn't tell him in time that I'd already taken it. But I knew when I had, I cried a lot. I cried, like, no, it can't be. Like, there are things I still have to do, things I want, like, there are plans I've already started, process for traveling out to go for my master's, and then this. So it came with a whole lot of mixed feelings, but thank God for the community I have, and then they were like, are you okay, madam? You know, this is what some people are praying for, going from one mountain, and then you have it and you are taking it with everything that. So you just have to change your mindset and appreciate God for these gifts. And that was where our name came from. God's gifts, and that was where our name came from. So, and you, well, you can't say you won't plan for, or you don't have a plan for parents. For crying out loud, you are going to carry the child for 9 months, and 9 months is like a very long period of time for you to prepare. So, and my brain was already working. I am the finance person. Okay, so naming ceremony, this is how we're going to do it, this is what we're going to do. We have already started setting money aside for the house. Okay, we want to check the room, we want to get this. We already started setting money aside for that and all. And immediately after, so we didn't have, in the aspect of finances, we didn't have issues at all, because at least we didn't expect it, but we had 9 months to prepare and plan for it. And then, in a way, both of us we've been aunties and uncles for a very long time, so we've already had our fair share of taking care of babies. Like, I remember as far back as I was 8 years old, I was already changing diapers for my cousins, for little babies around me and all. So it wasn't strange, or there wasn't a feeling like, how are we going to cope? What are we going to do? And if you could remember when they said, who is going to come for you? I'm like, I'll be fine. I'm sure that I will be able to cope.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and for sharing. I think I like the fact that we have a balanced experience. You planned 1 year, 6 months. You also planned, but you had the baby, you got pregnant without knowing, and you were still able to accept the fact that it had already happened and prepare yourself, transition into that role. I think one of the ways you as a viewer can, if you're in that phase of life, one of the ways you can prepare is accepting that, okay, this is my reality now, and then start strategizing, start planning, start working around, how to execute that new journey. So, and that would really work out. Thank you so much for sharing. So, the next question, in fact, both of you will be answering this next question also. So, let me ask Mrs. Chloe first. So, you were talking about sex earlier. You mentioned something about sex, like what is this? So, we'd like you to share more on that. Was sex an issue at the beginning? How did you navigate that? So, we have newlyweds in our community, and in fact, even young couples that are just trying to get the hang of sex. So, what was sex like for you at the very beginning? How were you able to adjust? How were you able to get used to it, transition into?
I will explain tire. Okay, so for sex, coming from two, let's say, amateurs or we just got into the sex thing in marriage. So for there's no body count or anything. So we both learned on the job. So the first few weeks we were just looking like, what's this? How do we do this one like this? You know that kind of thing. You cannot start calling anybody. You are your, figure it out. So to be honest, so I was like, God, what's all this? It was like headache to me. It was at first not pleasurable. I thought the sex was supposed to be pleasurable, but because I had read about it, I had a little knowledge about sex and all, especially for two people who have not, nobody can nothing. So it's going to be a gradual process. So we already had that knowledge. So at first I was like, this gradual process is already becoming like a burden. And then it was taking too long. Then gradually it became better. We started talking about it. So I wanted to avoid the talking. I beg, leave this thing. But he was open to, okay, how do you want it? What do you, is it that I have like, okay, I don't even know what I want, but it was like that for the first 3 months. Then later it got better. And then for we women, I'm like, wait, what is it with you? Is it every time you want all these things? Can you just be spiritual for once? So this comes to our born again brothers and sisters, Christian brothers and sisters, especially church girls and boys. So it got to a point later, much later, he said, sometimes we should say, I'm just being honest here. Should we, sometimes I feel like experience older sometimes is very good. Sometimes just taste it so that you know how. No, to be honest, we had this honest conversation that sometimes all these baddies, when they now get married to somebody that has not even experienced it, that's when you start hearing, oh, this person cheated because he's not enjoying this sex thing. I'm not saying you should try it first, though. If you abstain before marriage and keep yourself before you get married, there's a long time for you to explore. You sure now you go tire. Do you understand? But we had that honest conversation that, okay, now because we've not had this experience and we had to learn on the job, at some point I saw it like a burden. So he now said, so I'm just trying to put ourselves in the shoes of those who have, they've tested, they've explored, they know how it is and all of that. Like, how would it look like for them in mind? And we had that conversation. Like, okay, now we are not going to feel bad about it because we learnt. So it's not like you're badder. Me, I'm just learning, or somebody is trying to feel like you don't even know positioning. You don't even know how to is it every time missionary, try something else. And you'll be like, okay, don't worry, we'll keep learning. So one thing is, for us, because it's always like he's the one coming, and then like he said earlier, let me just ignore what he said. He said I used him that time. So after that time, I never came to meet him. He was always the one coming. You understand? So and even to now. So that's why sometimes you'll be like, me, I've grown past that level now. You to grow up. Try and match up. And so we had the conversation, and gradually, I got better. It was not what when this man, they just now I'll just see him in the kitchen, he's cooking, he's doing several things, he's just being nice. Like I know what it was. Now I'll run to the room, I'll now start forming sleep. Like so I let you, my dear. You cannot sleep this night. And then I feel like it's a burden. I know for somebody listening to me, you can relate to what I'm saying, especially for the women. You feel like it's a burden. There are times that you're not just in the mood. You don't want to. Can't you just? What I'm thinking is more than what you are. For them, it helps them ease stress. But for me, I'm stressed already. Don't bring more stress. I know when you're already doing the do, and then you feel like, well, let him just do whatever he wants to do and just get out. I know you're thinking the way I'm saying it in your mind. I feel like I felt like that yesterday. You can relate, right? But so far, like I said, something, you grow with what you're experiencing. You have to grow through it. You have to really grow. it becomes a problem if you are still stagnant the same way. Sometimes when I look at myself, we've really grown up. Like I remember those days. Sometimes I'll be like, in this marriage, it's only sex. You'll be like, what? How many times? It will be counting for me. In 1 month, it's just one,
Maybe
two.
twice. That's the annoying part. Yeah, that's the annoying
You
part.
don't cast me.
Every time.
And you be
It's not the reason that I'm fighting with that person.
The way you people come up with how many is the only sex we are doing in this marriage, and the sex we are talking about is twice in a month.
when it comes to sex now, see the energy.
Okay, you people should calm down, calm down. I know that the emotions are running high. Anytime sex is involved in like everybody's ear will just be standing up.
The men.
I'm
Okay.
just to say that this is an eye opener for me because my brother is sharing an experience I'm having currently. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, so it's not just, I'm just realizing that it's not just herself.
It's
common, it's common.
It's not just me. So I'll be like twice in a month for crying out loud.
No, it can't be twice in a month. Why are you lying?
Don't.
No.
It's probably better.
Why should you even be
You
counting?
people will always make us
I
look like
don't
that
like it.
when it comes to this case.
Exactly.
But
okay, let's say he's making an example.
Eh,
Let us
eh,
say
example.
it is twice in a month. Continue.
So, and then I'm like, the word that annoys me the most is, you know, in at night when they are trying to, like she said, he's complaining that she doesn't make me. I also complain that she doesn't. It's always.
it's a general knowledge.
So I'm like, there's this thing that makes me want to feel like I'm feeling desired when you are the one that initiates. And then another thing is maybe okay, I don't take initiative to take the process. And you're now eating my hand away like a fly.
This is the time to cast everything. That part where you can imagine that.
She has said it. What we are thinking of at that time.
It's nothing related to. Can you just leave sex out of it? There's so many things to do. Sex is not.
For me, when we got married, the excuse I gave myself, because we are a team, regardless of what is happening, we are a team. So when we got married, I had to speak to myself. I said, yes, this is it. You have married a virgin, and you are one already. You are a virgin too. But I have come to realize that men are kick and start.
Mm-hmm.
While women are lister.
Yes. Yep.
That you have to power quickly. That powering can take you 3 days.
1 month.
So that's where things like helping out, speaking their love language comes
Yes.
in. You don't need to speak a man's love language.
It's ready
Just
for
call him.
as you are.
That's it. So I had to tell myself, as at that time, I said, guy, you are marrying a virgin. And she was 29 when we got married, or 28 or thereabouts. I said, if someone has stayed this way for 28 years, and you got married to her, and you want her to become a baddie in 6 months,
How now?
that one is not possible. So I had to orientate myself that you have entered this thing already. You did not marry body. First accept that one that you did not marry
No,
body.
body.
But now, my sister, can we come up?
Come up either.
While I'm
too-
giving the excuse of you are not a body. But again, please. Twice in a month is not it.
No, but you know it's not twice in a month.
Oh,
It can't be twice.
you people always say that. You people, anytime we mention, you don't know.
Months later, you buy a calendar, you start marking.
Do you know that at some
So that
point we had a conversation that we said we are having that, and those conversation comes in the middle of the night. Those are the painful time for my wife. She does not want to miss her sleep. And because this thing is painful for me too, we have to everybody
Let's
must be
trash
pained
it, yes.
while we are trashing it. So we talk in the middle of the night, and at the point he say, Do you think we should make a calendar? You can imagine. You can imagine.
That's the same teacher.
It's a general knowledge. Now we are all saying it that it's a general thing. And I feel this need to be, we need to orientate the guys coming into marriage, and at the same time we need to orientate women coming into marriage. You have to give space as a guy that realize that patient with this person. But I know the learning period for women takes time. That one, me, I've learned.
But I got
myself.
better now.
And you got better.
But not at the pace
Now you're
you wanted.
bad, don't worry.
Yeah. I'm getting there.
But you can imagine what would have happened. As little as that is, just imagine a guy that has done so many things before getting married. Now happen to marry someone that is just coming. That one can destroy marriage. I know marriages that collapse. I know a marriage that collapsed in 6 months. The guy said they only had sex twice before the marriage collapsed. And it was during COVID. You can imagine those people that married during COVID is a problem. You people are in lockdown. So, okay, what are we going to be doing? Getting married during lockdown. We praise the Lord and we praise the Lord.
You lit up
we
only
eat food and we eat food.
What food?
All
All food. So they got married during COVID, and the lady was all sort of excuses, and in 6 months, the marriage collapsed. So because it's an integral, as much as finance, everything is important. This too is a major part of it.
So for upcoming couples, I think, like you said, there's this high expectations. For a man, you be feeling my wife will do this, and then when you get to the marriage, different positions, but sometimes you can be disappointed. So like you said, patience. Then so this is to we ladies, women. I think we should actually step up our game, and there's this notion, there's this mindset that it's not going anywhere, especially for church girls. They play. It might not go anywhere. God will help him, but don't push him off limits. Like there are times I feel like, I'm really hurting this guy, and then I come back to my senses, right? But don't let it get to that stage where you make him start thinking about so many things. You deny him sex. No, you shouldn't get to that point where he feels like if not for God, I for don't let it get to that point. If you I learned there, I think I see some awesome sex therapists, all of those things. You might need to reach out to them and learn some things. You might need to actually read up on some things and also work on yourself. And I think, it's not like I know that this things works with the mind. So if you don't talk to yourself, or you don't make up your mind that this thing, no, there are times that I sit down and say, Toby, this is what you're going to enjoy this sex tonight. So times when I feel like, your hand is like weight on my head. Don't touch me. Don't do this. I just feel like, reprogram your mind. Now nothing they do you just don't. Now begin to okay. So sometimes you be like, didn't you not enjoy it? I enjoyed it the war. At that time. But it tells me that you need to reprogram your mind. You need to talk to yourself. And so for those newlyweds that feel like it's supposed to be like first 3 days. So someone got married recently, and then we're just advising the person. In my mind, I was like, and they advise you like this. Me, nobody advised me, but I know how it was for me. But immediately we said it, the girl was like, so it happened to you too. She could relate. We've not figured it out yet. Then just take time, to get better. You will do tired, but just be patient. Enjoy it. If it's in the sitting room, the bed, anywhere, just explore. And if it's small bed you have, come down there. Every hour, just try and be open. Don't feel like you are married, you have not committed any atrocity or sin. You are married, explore. So my advice to young couples, intending couple, is that as regards sex, you have to be open. You have to talk about it, have conversation with your spouse, and then for we ladies, be open to learning. You, if it takes learning from sex therapists, I see them. But make sure these people, sex therapists, are believers, pure Christians. Like there are several sex therapists that, you know, but make sure you'd also for churches that take counseling for intending couples. I think you start with that before you even get to therapist thing, because for some people it's like a stronghold. I've had conversation with ladies and they say they don't just enjoy sex, they don't see, so that one, it takes a serious therapy session. First with your mind and all of that. So first with churches, when you're having counseling sessions with couples, can we talk about sex parts and not leave it aside? Because I see that so many people want to just, sex is unholy, brush over it and just, well, you would I figure it out. Of course, they will figure it out, but I think we also need to talk about it, because most times when I talk to young couples, like newlyweds, if they feel like when you say something they'll be like, finally somebody says this thing. Like they feel like, am I the only one going, and they can't open up. So am I the only one going through this? You're not alone. No, we are all on this table. And then with time we figured it out, and for some they fell off the, they could not talk about it, and it became a big issue and affected their marriage. So I don't want that to happen to you. I think you should talk about it. If someone who you really respect, and maybe your pastor or your pastor's wife, or somebody you really look up to, you can talk to them about it. I don't think if you can talk about finances and other issues in marriage to people that we really respect and we look up to, I see no reason why we can't talk about sex. They also have issues. They are married. So my parents, at some point, maybe their 30th year, I think they're about 40 years married now. My dad complained about my mom. As I was shocked that day when he mentioned to me that your mom, I don't know, she doesn't. So my mom doesn't like PDA, public display. So if my dad likes it a lot. I remember when they had their my dad was, I think it was my mom's 60th birthday photo shoot, and my dad was just doing like this. I was like, "Kí ló máa ṣe daddy?" You go, we're outside. I was like, "What do you mean you're outside? Mother, you touch her, Jare." I know my husband was looking at me with one corner eye. I said, "That's how you think." Sure. So actually, let me quickly shift this in. There are patterns too. So sometimes when I see myself doing something, I'll be like, this is how my mom too. My mom can be like that. So I think I took that part of her. I could be, you know, don't touch me too much. Just, it's okay, it's okay. You're touching me, those kind of things. And my mom is like that. So it takes conscious effort, because I saw that. I remember there was the first time my husband would call somebody outside of our marriage was because of the sex thing. So that's why I'm saying this. He went as far as calling my dad. I was shocked. I said, as in that day, I almost wept. I was like, "You called my dad?" My dad called. I woke up too long. My dad is very good in writing, so he wrote a long episode. He said, "Don't." I see that you're taking the pattern of your mom. So for him, he might have endured my mom, like persevered. He just managed the whole thing. Or which these days, it's very hard for you to see couples the way it was for them, like, at those generations. No, I give it to them. But now, the man, try, don't push your husband outside. My dad called me, said, "Toby, don't do that, don't deny your husband." Like, for him to have called, just imagine what I have done to my husband. Like, I denied him for a long period. I was actually, at that time, I was going through a lot that I could not even say. It was something inward, something I had to work, but I didn't communicate. That's where communication comes. I couldn't communicate with him. He was not seeing that. He just felt I was just punishing him. And so when he called my dad, and my dad spoke some sense to me and sent me epistle, and I sat down like, Temi, for you to have called my dad, I didn't even see that coming. So for him to have even spoken, he knew my dad was the only person that could talk to me about that. So, and my dad he became almost every month. My dad would call, "Oh, there's no problem," and the problem is asking, "Oh, she's doing normal." I know First, I there are times I read your chat. He will send you message. You say, "Ah, daddy, she's fine. Everybody's fine. We are okay." He will send you. Say, "I hope everything." He was bothered, like, because I know what he went through with my mom. Because my mom could be, I don't know. My mom's like, we are now. All of you people have left. It's just the two of us. So this is the time we should be enjoying each other. Mom say, "No, no, no, don't touch me." And there's a balance to all of these things too, right? But I learned from that. What happened at that time made me realize that if we don't take this thing serious, it could become a big issue. I remember somebody in church, somebody I also respect in church, one of the women in church. She walked up to me and said, "Give your husband what he wants." So I don't even know. Maybe the spirit of God ministered to her. I said, "What do you mean by give your? Don't deny your husband." And I know for sure my husband can never talk to anybody outside my dad about whatever issue. So I was like, for this woman to have, so this is like the second person talking about the same issue. And then I had to sit down and I also prayed about it. That God, you need to sort, we need to sort this thing issue so that I would have clear mind, and then so that I would really enjoy the sex thing. So it was as if I was not enjoying it, and it was not his fault. It was just all on me, the mind thing. And so I had to deal with that phase, and then it got better to the glory of God. So I'm saying to anyone again, whatever it is you're going to, sex is a big deal. Like, it's a big deal. Especially for we, I'm saying women, because for men, apart from maybe low sperm and count and all of those issues, is mostly from the part of the woman, because for them they are everly ready. And the scripture also say that we should not deny our spouse, our husband, our wives, our body. So we can't just say we want their money, we want this emotional, and we deny them of that sex, because it does a lot to them the same way it does a lot to us. To be honest, when you have a good sex life with your spouse, there's this glow. It reflects. If you are denying your husband sex, oh mama conranio, you will be cranky. So you don't want that in your marriage. And there are times that I just him just Helena say, "Don't translate on my baby." Oh, what is this? What's Helena, what? Leave my baby. And I see that, okay, this man needs all of this. So God will help us. We just have to be open. We just have to keep learning, and then don't communicate. Like, so that was what I faced. I didn't come. I just assume you should know now. Can't you see? A lot is going on. And for we women, we have to be mentally prepared, emotionally stable before this sex thing. You can't just come and say you want sex. And am I? I say I'm not a harlot. Oh. You have to that you just kick and start. Those ones by the road, just come, let's collect money. This one, you have to be okay. And so communication is very key.
All right. Wow. Thank you so much. That was deep. Should I call you Pastor Toby now?
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Thank you so much. So I'd like us to also balance it real quick, because okay, for now we've been able to establish the fact that okay, there are sexual issues in marriages, and we've been leaning towards the women mostly not being responsible. But then we have people that women and even men, but let's say women now, that are hyper about sex. Like they really, really love sex, what we are talking about, and it's even the men that are not matching up. And so I think it is very, very important to understand who you are with and their libido.
Yes.
How high it is, how low it is. Then what is said comes into play. So you be patient with that partner, and then communication also. And then trying to understand where that person, like the phase where they are at mentally. So it all still boils down to really, really understanding each other.
And also, let me quickly say this: for women, you already know your wife's love language, so you don't just come expecting. Your wife has gone to work, or probably has just been busy with stuff, and then there's a child to cater for. If there's a child, if there's no child, a lot is going on. You can't just come and just expect. So I say that sometimes men try their best, but I feel they need to pay more attention to a woman's need, vice versa. So also the man's need. So you're asking your wife, oh, you want sex from your wife, and then you see that the love bank is already low. With the love bank, what I mean is there has been issues here and there. There has been garbages. There has been some things that you guys have not sorted. You've not communicated. I mean, between each other, and then all of a sudden you just want sex. So, and I understand that this sex thing is very, very, I would say it's spiritual, because it's an intimate stuff. So you don't just want to, well, let him just have it. And I don't know, it's only me. Sometimes I just feel like I'll just pretend as if I'm enjoying, but I'm not really enjoying it. It's not because he's not doing what he is supposed to do, but because the love bank is on maybe 50%. Something is wrong somewhere. Can we so sometimes you just need to understand your spouse and talk about it, and you will know if you are truly in love with each other, or this marriage thing is working. You will know if something is, a man cannot just be cranky every time. There's something you are doing. He's not communicating. Babe, what are you doing that you are doing something? There's nothing. Talk about it. But for men, if they ask you and you say, we women, we will not say it at first, so you have to keep asking. Okay, there's something you did. It's not, you need to talk about it, and then you just have to sort that thing and make sure the love bank is back to 100. And to be honest, it's not always like that. Or there are times that it's just commitment, sacrifice that is just keeping the marriage. I really wish we can talk about that in this session, because it's not just about love. Of course, is encompassing, is sacrifice, is a lot of things. But it will get to a point in marriage that you will get carried away by the cares of life, euphoria of things, and then I'm saying this because recently I sat down and I thought about it, that a lot is happening, especially with the world we are in now. There are so many things. In a way, we are getting carried away. We are missing the point of marriage. So we children, career, you see that something is not just working, pressure, a lot of things, and we're just living by the day. Oh, we'll be all right. We'll laugh about it. Yeah. But there's something, something is, the foundation is shaking. Something is not right. Something is not solid. And so I'm not saying it just from my own standpoint of my marriage, of my own marriage, because I'm very observant person, and I see through so many people. So even people I look up to, people that we interact with, people that I don't even have conversations with, I can just sense that we are just living by the day. But this marriage thing, what is bringing us together, we are not, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So sometimes I feel, so one day recently, it's not even one, like very recent, I just sat there, I said, oh, something, we just need to go back to the drawing board sometimes and sit. If it takes going out, especially for nursing mothers, there was a time we planned just staying, let's just talk, relax, and let's go back, let's be babies again, let's be the lover boy and girl we used to be, because that would help you ease a lot of, then you realize that, I think we do that a lot at night. Sometimes we'll talk into the night, we'll just sleep off, like Ogbami gone. That time I was like, you've changed. There are times that you just, but now you've no Ogbami. All those things you used to tell me, don't worry, I'll not make you cry when we get married. I don't cry tired for this marriage. As in, I'm telling you. So before you went, you say, don't worry, I will never make. Remember that night you said, I can't forget that night. I won't make you cry. You don't make me cry. That times I was like, I've cried so much in the past how many days. But you lied to me. It's calm. You overpromised. So guys, listen, don't overpromise, because it will stand on the day of judgment. It will stand against you. Because that's just how life is. Life is, there are so many things you feel, I can't do this. Never say never. I won't do this. My man can, but there are some deal breakers, right? There are some things that you can't even bring it to the subject you can't even negotiate it, but there are times that we get carried cares of life. Nursing a child, it's only one I have, but sometimes it feels like the whole world is on me like this. How am I? But I just feel the way we can get past that is it's a phase, and then it will pass. But whatever it is that you learn through that phase will help you in the next one. And to be honest, we've not even gone through 1% of what our parents went through now. But because the dynamics in our time and age is so different, you are looking at one marriage and then you are just, oh, how I wish. And but it's just different. And you're comparing yourself with somebody else's marriage. How I wish. I mean, recently I realized that, oh no, nobody's marriage is as perfect as mine, because you don't want to know what they are going through. It's not just about the grammar. It's not about people can fake. I say that people can come to the limelight, or they can come to the open, and they act what you want to, everything
Perfect.
what they want you to see, just like social media, and then we get carried and be like, oh God, when, but you don't understand, your own marriage is just different. It's different from somebody else's marriage, so you don't know. It might be good in this part, like pastor said on Sunday, somebody's marriage, this man can just be, it's so awesome, it's just everything just looks perfect for him, but you don't know what is enduring. It could just be this patient man, but somebody else's marriage, it is just upward and opposite. And then just to know what works for you, try to, what brought about this is love. Like, so a conversation we had, is love truly enough to keep a marriage? Of course it encompasses every other thing, sacrifice, commitment, but you get to a point in marriage, we are just 3.5 years, and I've realized that the journey the transitioning, there are so many phases that you just keep going, and it's more. So we just started life, we've not even, how old are we? We don't know anything yet. What have we even faced? You understand? But it's looking like it's overwhelming. So I just feel sometimes you just need to sit, and this weight that you've put on yourself by yourself, just bring it down, offload it first. Nobody's, do your own thing. Your journey is different. Don't look at any other person. Oh God, I wish I can say this a million times. It's those ones that you're looking at, it's like they just have it all figured out. There's something biting them. They're crying, like, but they just have to come, and they can't wear their problems. So whatever it is that you feel, okay, there's this thing lacking in your home, why don't you just agree together and just, if you're a believer, just trust God that this will be sorted. This is a weakness, it will get better. The strength will come, this phase too will pass, and they just live the day and begin to reflect the glory of God in your marriage. Don't use somebody else's marriage as a mirror. They are my mentors, fantastic. There's something you just love about them. Just take that. Pick that and just don't idolize and feel, oh, this is how my mind. You don't know what you don't want to know, right? So just make sure you don't get carried away by the cares of life. You need to sit sometimes, talk about things. If it takes you dropping your kids, do that. If you can try to do that at least once in a month, as the time permits you, just to reflect. It will bring new wine in your marriage, because it's possible. I used to say that I will enjoy marriage, so it's something you also have to confess. And so you're not just I will enjoy. I will not enjoy it. I will not struggle. The way our parents will just, I'm a daddy, I'm a teen, will just, we can manage baba, and they did 40 years of endurance, or 30 years.
Possible to actually
Enjoy. Yes, you can enjoy it.
There will be ups and downs, quite alright.
Yes, but you have to
Position your mind.
yes, that's
I have to enjoy
you have
all
to
the
enjoy
seasons,
all the
either
seasons.
good or bad, because each and every season is a learning.
Like you said, the good, the bad. So there's obviously the ugly, and so you enjoy it, and then there are times that you'll be a cover for your husband. as a man, you cover you don't have to project your wife's weakness outside. You don't have to project the man's you don't have to, make him feel less of a man or feel less of a woman or take a position as a wife, no, as a woman first, even before a wife or a mother. There are times that you just feel like, maybe it's just my wife. No, she's a woman, she's a human being first. So all of those things, I just trust that this session you've learned one or two things. I leave it to our hosts if we made a lot of sense today. But I'm just saying it from, because we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to say, as we say, things are, the things are good. Marriage, there's a way marriage can make you become so, from a size 6, I think I was a size 8. You saw my wedding picture. Size 8, and then you just become, is this how marriage is sweet? Marriage is very sweet, oh my dear brothers and sisters, and it has the other side too. You be ready. All the work.
Wow.
All the work. All the
Thank
work.
you so much. That says that marriage is work.
It is.
Not fun. Like, not that it's not fun, but she sees women on wedding day, they are happy and you don't know that you are entering a battle field.
Yeah.
Because really, as a woman, you are like the gatekeeper of your home. So you are entering a warfare. The devil does not like the idea of godly homes. And what he wants to do is start from attacking the homes. So we are entering a warfare. So you have to be prepared. Exactly. Anything that comes. So marriage is work, like hard work.
Amazing. It has been such an insightful session. In fact, I don't even know what to say anymore. I had so much to chip in, but you've all covered it, and I'm so grateful to have you here today.
Thank you.
Do you have anything you would like to say? Is there any other thing you would like to say? Anything that comes to mind? Okay, I think I was going to mention something earlier on. Okay, thank God I remembered. And that is about balance. Now, there are some couples that they cannot relate to some of the things we've said because they actually don't have sexual problems. So I like us to create a balance on the show. So if you are married, you are a newlywed, and you actually enjoy sex with your husband, keep at it. I mean, it's good. You are doing well. One of the things my husband and I did when we got married was we had a plan. So it's not even compulsory for you to have sex that your wedding night. Put temper, no worries.
Yes,
put
sir.
temper. We had a plan, and I think that helped us. That helped us because even me, I was coming into the marriage fresh, and you say, okay, I'm mature. You don't. You can know things even as a virgin. You can know things. So we had like a timetable of the things we were going to do each day before we had the actual penetrative sex. So all those things, take it one step at a time.
Yeah.
Rome was not built in a day. You don't need to do monkey and eagle.
Yeah, so you start with your
on
missionary
the first
first.
day of marriage. If you don't, you might not even start
Start
with sex
with,
first. You can
yes,
start
now with
maybe the basics.
Yes.
Oral
Money.
Counting
On
money.
our
money,
first
money.
night, we're counting money.
We're counting money. Money
We
everywhere.
actually did that.
So, when's the time of sex? Money first.
Money.
You just spent money now. So it's kind of,
Wow. And if as a woman you enjoy sex with your husband, just keep communicating.
Yeah.
So it's not just for the people that have issues sexually or people that just make sure that even if when it is good, communicate.
Yeah, I
Okay,
enjoyed
I like
it.
this.
Yeah. Can we do more of this?
Can we do more of this? Yes, so that you will know what you're doing right and what works for your partner. And not just sex now. For each and every topic we discussed here today. Work-life balance, finances, parenthood. I think communication is the foundation of pulling through everything. Because by the time you're able to converse, I feel stressed. Let's say a woman that is stressed and is getting overwhelmed, overstimulated, you talk to your husband, this is the way I'm feeling. Or a man that has been carrying so much of responsibilities and needs a woman to actually, men also get hurt.
Yes.
They also feel overwhelmed. So you can, communicate that. Don't do hard guy and you're suffering in silence. So you can communicate effectively, and we also listen, because it's not enough to just say words. Those words need to be received.
Feedback.
So you listen, and I'm sure that everything that has been said here is going to really, really work for you. Just make communication your bedrock. Wow. So we've come to the end of this session, and it has been so amazing. Thank you so much, the Akifenwas and the Adebayos.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
so
us.
much for
Thank you
sharing.
for having us.
Thanks for being vulnerable. I mean, all right. So if you have learned a great deal today, please, you know what to do. Like this video, comment in the comment section. Let's converse in the comment section, and share this video with as many people as possible. People it is going to benefit, and follow us on all social media platforms. Thank you. Have a great